Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to mention something because it's important, and you know, I thought like it was really something that needed to be said. So we all know, sorry guys, we all know Simon Cowell from America's Got Talent and X Factor and Britain's Got Talent and all that. And he can be pretty harsh, right? Like some of his comments are very, very negative, and people can be really wrapped up on what he says or how he's responding to you, what he's doing about your career. I mean, this is your life, and this is how you see yourself. A lot of people see themselves as stars, and they may not be stars, but they see themselves that way. And they have Simon Cowell criticizing them, saying, "Oh, you're never going to be a star. You will never fit into to Hollywood." And even though people are like, well, okay, if they don't fit in, they don't fit in. Simon Cowell is just stating the obvious. He doesn't judge. He's a harsh. Well, he doesn't judge normally, but he's a harsh critic because that's the style of the show. That's what people do on the show. Now, one girl got the bad rap. She got, the insane one, the one that you need to call security on, the one that you need to feel really badly for, the one that's never going to make it to Hollywood. She got that rap. And the psycho, the ones that are considered psycho, right? And that rap is very heavy to hold. I really think that, and that girl committed suicide. So it's really sad to see that, somebody that would be, Simon Cowell says these comments, it's funny to the crowd, people are like, oh, they're never going to be singers. Oh, Simon's totally right, and Simon's so harsh, how could he be so cruel? Snicker, snicker, right? You laugh at that. And this poor girl committed suicide. And it makes sense that that's how the show is designed. Obviously, if you see her perform, you know she's not really meant to be a singer. But in her mind, she's meant to be a singer, right? She's really feeling like that's what she wants to do. And she's trained for it, and she's done all the things she needs to do. Um, now, I'm here to tell you that if you are someone that has been in the same boat, or people have squashed your dreams or said you can't dream or whatever, and you never fulfilled them, or you had a dream that you really wanted to do but you don't feel you can, I'm here to tell you that even if someone criticizes you very negatively or tells you you can't or that you're not good enough, and let's say you're not good enough for that dream, don't feel bad. Even if somebody is really critical of you or says something really negative, what does that mean for them? To be that critical, to be that rude. Even Simon Cowell, we all know it's for TV. We all know it's meant to be taken lighthearted. You're not supposed to react to it. It's just how Simon Cowell is, right? But it is a harsh thing. I mean, you're going for your dream. You're trying to follow your dreams, and Simon Cowell is telling you you'll never make it and adding, let's call security, let's this, let's that, let's make you the laughing stock, and it's really, too much for a lot of people. I mean, I can only imagine. I see some of these people on these shows, and they have, like same with American Idol, you see these people and they seem really terrible at singing and they seem really crazy and they seem whatever, and you think to yourself, oh, it's just a show, maybe they're paid to be that way, whatever, but they get a bad rap and it's really, really bad. I mean, no one wants to be called out to be Simon Cowell's worst, worst contestant or worst performer. No one wants to be called out that. But Simon Cowell is a human being, and if any human being were to criticize me, of course I'd take it seriously. Of course I'd feel bad. Of course, that's terrible, especially if it's Simon Cowell. But I don't take things like, even Simon Cowell, I would not react that way. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, Simon Cowell is Simon Cowell. He's really important in the music industry, but really, just because Simon Cowell says you suck or you're no good, doesn't mean you should feel down about it. I mean, maybe you do, and maybe you need to find another career, but I wouldn't worry too much because Simon Cowell's a human being and he has flaws and he's not the greatest person ever. So it's just really sad that this girl committed suicide. It's just the way the show is designed to be. you know, I auditioned for America's Got Talent. I didn't get on the show. You know, I'm not going to commit suicide over it. I just think, you know, it sucks because I really think I'm really, really good. I think I should have won, you know, but that's just what I thought, and that's what happened, and I can't argue it. I was very nervous, you know, just as being, I'm very, 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 very good. I should have totally won the whole show, but because I'm nervous, that's my fault. I have to deal with that. I had a hard time with it, and that's my fault. So because I'm super nervous, it might be the timing, might be the timing's off, whatever, but because I'm nervous, it's my own fault, and I have to deal with the consequences of that, right? Maybe it's a natural reaction and I can't get past the point of non-nervousness, so I have to be a YouTuber, TikToker, which is totally fine. But I know I'm very, very good, so I will be famous one day. So maybe it was just not my moment, not whatever, and that's fine. I have to deal with that. I would not commit suicide or recommend anyone get plastic surgery because they didn't make a show, or, you know, it's really sad because these things are really important to a lot of people. So, you know, you see people trying to be on these shows and doing whatever. A lot of them get plastic surgery and don't feel good enough or whatever. And it's really like mind changing for a lot of people, and it really makes them feel sad, you know. So, um, it's really not something you can control, you know. If you are auditioning for a show like that, you have to be a good singer in order for them to want you to be on the show. Whether you're nervous, whether whatever, you have to be someone that's qualified to do that career. Maybe you're totally perfect like I was, but I was nervous. So, you know, and that came across. So that's not something I like, but I have to just deal with the consequences. That you know, you'd be like, well, you're going to be famous on TikTok and YouTube. Why would you have to commit suicide? There's no sense. You know, and I don't believe in suicide anyway. But you know, it's really you know upsetting to a lot of people. But really, it's just the way the Hollywood system works. It's like when you say that a celebrity that was once a model, or a person that was once a model, is no longer a model because she gained weight. Well, yes, it's horrible, it's tragic they didn't hire her still. It's tragic that they gave her the boot because she gained weight. But modeling, whole modeling industry is centered on being thin and beautiful. And the minute you don't fit that, you're not part of it. You might be a different type of model, but you're never going to be the classic beauty they're looking for. So, you know, even though it's harsh and it's terrible and it could be life changing and traumatic for some people, really a lot of people never experienced even being a model once. So how, you know, don't take such a hard knock with that. It's just part of the industry, right? Like models have to be beautiful and thin. To be the typical Hollywood model, you have to be beautiful and thin, and that's just the way it is. And if you're not like that, well, then you gotta move aside. And it's that I mean, it sounds harsh, but not everyone can model, right? Not everyone's a model. So, you know, it's just the nature of the business. As tragic as it may seem, it's the way the business works. So unfortunately, you know, people that commit suicide because maybe they gained a little bit of weight and they're told they're not modeling, you know, and those guys are harsh. They say really rude things. They might call you really fat or whatever. They might say you're really big, or they might say you're no longer fit to be in this business, or I thought you were good and you're not anymore, or whatever. And that's totally harsh, really, really harsh. I can see how it busts someone's dreams or make people feel really, really depressed. But really, those people are just designed to see beauty that's standard and conventional, and beyond that they can't. And I think they can handle it a different way, but that's me. I would handle it a different way. I'd say, well, we're not looking for you right now, or whatever. Or I'd say, you know, unfortunately, we can't keep you on, but I totally don't think you will ever have, I don't think you won't be out of the modeling industry forever, just lose a few pounds. But even that sounds harsh, right? So I mean, you know, I'd be nicer, but really, I'm not a modeling agent, so I'm not in control of that. Some of those guys are really, really rude, and some of them sexually abuse the models and make them feel really small the entire time. So, you know, it's just the nature. Well, sexual abuse is not really allowed, should be allowed, but beyond that, I mean, the modeling agency, it's not like it's centered on values that people can sort of like um, feel like they don't fit in and that's okay. You know, it's really kind of like a very shallow industry that only accepts certain people. So if you're not part of that, you get the boot immediately, and that's not fair, and it sucks. And the way they handle it is really nasty. I'm sure they treat you like garbage and literally say get out and don't care. But really, you know, to lose your self-esteem over that. A lot of people that are higher models are not models. They don't look very good. So if you're a slightly bigger model and you're no longer a model and you've dealt with the majorly horrible things of the industry, have a YouTube channel, TikTok channel, you know, and talk about what your experiences are. I'm sure people will welcome that and feel much better that they are, if they have the same experience, they will feel very good. You know, but like I said though, models have to be thin and beautiful, and it says nothing about you, and you should not feel less than, you should not feel less important or whatever if you're not part of it anymore. But just remember that it's part of the system in modeling. All right, bye now. Bye everyone.